The greatest things come out of an argument with one's mother. And just to prove this point about the Earth's average temperature really being about minus 18 degrees or so, I took the average, the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth and averaged that against the lowest temperature ever recorded on Earth. So the lowest temperature ever recorded on Earth was recorded at Vostok Station in Antarctica, and this was minus 89.2 degrees Celsius, and the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth was at Furnace Creek Ranch, California, United States, and this was 57 degrees Celsius or so. So converting those numbers into Kelvin and then taking the average, what one uncovers is that the figures turn out at 184 degrees and 330 degrees Kelvin respectively. So averaging that and then converting back to Celsius, you get, well, 257 degrees Kelvin, which is minus 16.15 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's not exactly minus 18 degrees like the temperature of the moon is, but it's not far away from that either. And it doesn't really matter what averages you take of temperatures that kind of fall into the middle band of this range. Still, because whatever you put into a mean temperature, you still have to take the mean by the number of temperatures that you put into the calculation, right? Of course. So yeah, between the average of temperature of Antarctica, like the centre of Antarctica, which is the coldest place on Earth, we find that it gets to an average of like minus 60 or so, or something like that, or minus 65, or thereabouts. And then you can think about the average temperature in the Sahara Desert being so about 30 degrees Celsius in the daytime, or really more like minus 13, well, no, sorry, not minus 13 degrees, but 13 degrees. So taking the averages of those two temperatures, I think we find that, yeah, it does sort of approximate, yeah, roughly the sort of figures that I'm dealing with. So I want to search average temperature of Antarctica, or average temperature in the middle of Antarctica, minus 57 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, that's the average. And then for the Sahara Desert, average annual temperature is 30 degrees Celsius with a high of 58 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I mean, if you look at those two figures, the average of that will turn out to be about minus 17, which is sort of what you'd expect, really, from the average temperature of Earth. Since the moon moves through a greater range of temperatures than the Earth does, it moves through, being like positive 180 degrees Celsius or something like that, and then it goes down to like minus 120 or something like that. And yeah, it turns out the average temperature of the moon is minus 18 degrees Celsius. However, if we're looking at this range determined by the hottest places on Earth, which isn't, by the way, the Sahara Desert, but it's a very hot place on Earth, which is nearly as near as makes no difference, really, the hottest place on Earth, I think. And thinking about the lowest temperature on Earth, the middle of Antarctica, then yes, we find that, weirdly enough and strangely enough, even though we don't experience it much in the temperate zone, the average temperature of Earth is in fact minus 18 degrees Celsius, accounting, I think, for both day and nighttime temperatures, which, in taking the averages, I probably didn't do, actually, since the average nighttime temperature of the Sahara Desert, as I pointed out, is minus 4 degrees Celsius, and the average daytime temperature is about positive 30. So that averages to 13 degrees Celsius. And I'm not sure about the Antarctic temperatures. I don't think that those are day and nighttime temperatures either. I think those are average daytime temperatures still. And yeah, but just working from those sorts of averages, going from the highest temperatures we've ever recorded to the lowest temperature we've ever recorded, and I'd assume that the lowest temperature we've ever recorded is a nighttime temperature, then yeah, it turns out that the Earth's average temperature is about minus 16, minus 18, or minus 20 degrees Celsius. So that's, just a point of science that I'd like to point out for everyone. And if you want to quibble with my science and question it, by all means do so in the comments.